That's about all I can show you with that.
So,
That's about all I can show you that. What is that? What is that? What is that weird duck thing?
okay, so about 9 years ago, well, let's let the light balance restore itself here. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so we've recovered the some of the Calicat artwork, some of the strangest Calicat artwork, and I can only show you that little bit. So back 9 years ago, there was a convention where the guy that did the DuckTales comic books was there, and the comic books, not the Disney series, and we were inspired at the comic book thing and the comic book creator thing at this comic shop, comic convention, to do a bizarre crossover, and it started sketches and things like that at the time. That computer crashed shortly after that, so maybe Disney got into the computer and messed it up. Probably not. But what it would have been is an animated comic series. It was hinted at back in the day, and there were pictures of it on the walls and stuff. It would have been a crossover between the universe of DuckTales and the universe of that's Ed Darkwing Duck and Star Trek. Yes, Trek Ducks, Star Trek Ducks. That's truly bizarre. I've recovered the files 9 years later. Looking those files over. Not going to do anything with them, but just in case, don't do anything with them out there either, because I can't do a slideshow of what they were or anything like that, because yeah, probably I doubt any NDAs still apply because it didn't end up happening. It would have been strange. It's one of the things pitched at the Disneyland trip later on. Some of it did become stuff. There were 2 or 3 ideas at that. See, unlike Gamelt allegedly pitching Star Trek Discovery, which he did not, or Star Trek Beyond, which he did not, he was given a cease and desist. We actually went to Disney and pitched. We got to go to Disney at the Disneyland park. Well, actually, we just went around like very loudly talking about story ideas, some of which became Disney stories, but not this one. So we can talk about this one. Oh, one of them became Strange World. The one with the prince finding his prince. That's in Strange World. One of them became, another idea became Nimona. It was taken over by some other studio. They were DreamWorks did Nimona. The same kind of idea. The prince finding his prince. The same idea. Yeah, so other people overheard us. They did their own thing based on that, because it wasn't a pitch meeting at a studio or anything. It was more of a we're just loud in the park. Yeah, take our ideas and use them. So they did. Yeah, that's all. But yes, unlike Gamelt, who didn't actually go to Paramount, we went to Disney. We were at Disney. We were there in the park, Disneyland. We were there. Yes, we were definitely there. Yeah, 2015. Around the same time that Gamelt claimed his pitch happened, ours did. His did not. And we weren't at Star Trek. Although Star Trek Discovery was in early stages after that movie. So maybe somebody did that heard our stuff, did that, and then completely shipped it. So yeah, it would have been an odd idea, a Star Trek Ducks story. Someone else picked up on that and made Star Trek Cats based on that. Kitty cats. What are the Star Trek Ducks? Of course, we couldn't get any permissions, anything like that. Any agented stuff, and they didn't accept any submissions. It's just they'll take ideas, but they didn't accept these. So it was the Star Trek Ducks. With the history of that weird little story thing, I thought it would chime in on Star Trek. That just odd idea. Yeah, the reason the newer shows aren't in there is it's 2015. They weren't there yet. Not even Star Trek Beyond wasn't even out yet. 2015. I don't intend to do an update of the Ducks. I also found some of the old celeb things from 20 years ago, and we're not doing updates of those either. There's no point in it. I just thought it would be fun to keep the archive complete on this weird duck story. It would have been in the tradition of that original comic. Would have been very, very, very strange. Next generation people has had ducks. I think at that time, Paramount's not related to Disney. Paramount was no subscription, no scripts at all. They will throw them away. No fan stuff. They will throw it away. No, obviously no pitches from some unknown gamer. No way, not going to happen. And that was the case for Paramount. But Disney's open to ideas. You can kind of tell. The later stuff was like, oh, yeah, don't pitch to them though. Don't pitch to them. They'll throw that away. But if they're open to ideas, they'll look at your blogs and crib it and make a Star Wars Mandalorian thing out of it or something. Yeah, if you have a Star Wars blog, they will go there and they'll mess with it. They'll do their own thing. They'll get it wrong, but but yeah, the so yeah, the Acolyte. Yeah, She-Hulk. Yeah, that's a great idea. Comic books coming up with different ideas. So this duck one would have been, I guess the kind of reminiscent of that Howard the Duck Lucasfilm thing. Howard the Duck would have been like the Lucasfilm version of it, whereas Lucasfilm was thinking Dirty Duck from Penthouse, not thinking of Howard the Duck from the comics. Different guy. That's why that movie doesn't make any sense. It's the wrong duck. Might as well be Daffy, because it's the wrong duck. It's the wrong duck. Really is the wrong guy. It's not like that. But yeah, this would have been wholesome and family oriented. The different Star Trek crews as ducks. It's probably no coincidence that later the McMahon and the guys from left over from that were not fired from Rick and Morty invented a Star Trek Lower Decks cartoon after that, and another one called Prodigy. Because, yeah, that would have been the result of them going like, well, we don't like the duck idea, but we like the Lower Decks idea. We'll take that. Over at Paramount. Because that guy's known, and people know who he is. As opposed to a fan who comes in and says, ducks. Yeah, let's do the duck thing. Because I met the duck guy. Yeah, so that's my story of the truck ducks. It's pretty funny that I pulled that up and found that and brought it back out of obscurity. Not going to do anything with it. It's not a comic book, but don't use it anyway. Just because, yeah, it's probably some stuff with an NDA somewhere. Something about that somewhere. Probably don't want to mess with that. But yeah, I doubt that Scrooge McDuck's characters will do a Disney. Although afterward they did do a DuckTales remake. So, wasn't us. So yeah, that's another little short story thing. Trek ducks. I think the favorite one of them in the drawings there is a LaForge visor on a duck. Right. That's pretty funny. A mullet Neelix with a duck with a mullet. It's just weird, fun, but yes. And mutton chops. Certainly there wasn't a duck Q. It could be Q duck, like it's a dish. Kind of funny. Yeah. I don't think I'll do any updates of that, though. It's kind of pointless. If I did, it would be, yeah, the newer shows would be done up as ducks. It'd be kind of strange. Yeah, they were only like forced perspective face on concept art. Yeah, it wasn't they didn't have any like panels or anything. It was just the concept art. Here's what the duck is going to look like. Kind of. But never going to animate it later. And that didn't happen. That obviously didn't happen. So yeah, doing a comic book is actually really hard, and it doesn't work for someone who doesn't know how to do a comic book. The other comic book we tried to do was bring back Captain Estrogen as a comic book, and that didn't work either, because it's like how would we, yeah. So instead we made Captain Estrogen a Gorn-looking Riker and painted him green and put him in Star Trek Legacy instead of doing that. It was easier that way. You just here's your action figure. It's already there. Boom, go film it. Which we figured out later. we were doing the action figure series and all that. Even though we were doing Chimera was in production. So she just said, oh, let's do that. But yeah, so there you go. There's the story of the Trek Ducks. And I thought of those newer names, like the Nest generation, this morning. Originally, they didn't have names. They were just Star Trek people as ducks. I gave them clever names, like the Ovum series and the Next Generation and Deep Lake 9 and, you know, kind of, what did I call the next migration with Voyager? Oh, Voyager was the migration. Yeah, but those are all recent, so it's not really, yeah, it's not the 2015. They're the old files, but it's not, you know, they're not doing anything new on that. I just wanted to chime in and say that. To pitch to Disney. Some of our stuff ended up getting done, but we were fine with that. Strange World and that other one. Sure. Yeah. Well, people didn't like them, but they came out. And Wish, kind of, which was also bad, was kind of a similar idea where it wasn't really the princess stereotype. She was just sort of there, and the magician guy wasn't her father or any relation. He was just a magician. Kind of pitched that too, but of course that would have been stupid. Yeah, we didn't like that. They ended up filming it. The Acolyte. Let's go 100 years earlier. No, that's a dumb idea. Don't do that. Even though it's, you know, don't do. They did it anyway. Yeah. I guess. Well, in that case, during the writer's strike, last year they just didn't know what to do for like 6 months. This is not the way to go about it. Anyway, so yeah, Trek Ducks.